can actually go on YouTube. And, you know, if you don't want to be on YouTube, feel free to turn your camera off after we say hi to Courtney. And if you guys don't have any questions for me, I think I said everything. Oh, and then also, I don't think Jennifer's on yet. Not Jennifer, a little bit of calm, crazy Jennifer, but there's another Jennifer, and she happens to work for Surebonder, our sponsor for this evening.
Nice.
And they are going to be giving away this lovely glue gun to not to everybody, sorry, to one lucky person.
You became Oprah.
I would have had to pay for that out of pocket. But if you don't know about this glue gun, this is actually a really cool one because it's cordless. And so it sits on this little charger here, and it does charge up that way. And when it's charged, first of all, it charges really, really quickly. But what's great about it is when you're using it, it will stay fully engaged for like 2 to 3 minutes. And so in between uses, just pop it back down on its charger. And also it has, I don't know if you can see that, a very fine detail point. This is a used gun because this is mine. They are actually going to send you one as well. And then what's cool about this is they will also send you 100 mini glue sticks to fill this out. My glue stick happens to be a black one, but you'll get the clear glue sticks. So does anybody have any questions for me? All right, I am going to let Courtney in, and I'm going to take a sip. Hello, Courtney. Courtney, can you hear us?
Hold on.
I can hear you.
Hey.
Hey, how are you?
Courtney.
Hey, guys.
Courtney, you look so pretty.
Oh, thanks. I told you I was going to put on makeup today. So, yeah.
And your hair's all fixed.
I know. Well, we're going to go out to dinner after this. So I'm like, hey.
Hey,
me too.
Well, you've got a few familiar faces on.
I do. They're right next to me, girl.
So Courtney, you can view this in a couple ways. You can either go into the gallery view where you can see everybody,
okay,
or
that's
you can
where I'm
go
at
into
right now, I think.
the speaker view. So totally up to you.
Okay.
And first of all, how are you?
I'm good.
Do you have a beverage this evening?
I'm actually drinking water.
Water works. That's
water.
a beverage.
Yeah.
Cheers to you.
Yes, thank you. You too.
I almost sent you a text.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago, and was like, cancel everything, because nothing was working. The computer was not working. The camera wasn't working. Nothing was going good.
Oh, of course.
And I told everybody that we do have a giveaway tonight from Surebonder. So I'm going to make you responsible for this at some point. So
great. Okay.
Either a trivia question or
Okay.
a random draw or something like that. And
can do that.
so we will be giving that away soon. So
Yay.
I want to know, first of all,
How exciting.
we have this crazy thing going on called the COVID.
Yeah.
How are you handling COVID?
None of us have gotten sick. My mom got it. And then I've got a lot of family members with it. My daughter Bailey was exposed to it at school. And so they had to send the whole color guard. They were on quarantine. But other than that, we've all been tested. None of us have gotten it. So we've dodged it up till now. So.
Okay. Very cool. That's good to hear. I hope your mom is doing good and that we can move on to the next part. If anybody has their microphones unmuted, go ahead and mute yourselves. That way we're not hearing any background noise. And then we'll unmute in just a second. So tell us about your family.
Okay.
You talked about your daughter.
I got 3 kids.
Okay.
A freshman in college, a sophomore in high school, and a 7th grader. 2 girls and a
freshman in college.
I do.
Would have never thought that.
Yeah, I do. I'm older than people think I am, I think.
Me too.
Yeah.
So what part of the country do you live in?
I'm in Houston, west side of Houston.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
We have a lot of creators in Texas.
Yeah. It's hot.
Yeah, it's definitely hot in Texas.
It's so hot.
Have you connected with any of, I kind of know the answer to this, but have you hung out with any of our creators, our famous YouTube
Well,
creators?
yes, two of them are on, Jennifer and Shannon. I've hung out with a couple times, and I met Avi at Creativation.
Yep.
So I met her back in, I guess, last January, and then
Nice.
we took our Waco trip. So Megan was there, Sarah Jane.
So Megan from Glue Guns and Roses.
Yes, yeah.
Sarah
And
Jane
Sheik on
from
the Sheep.
Chic on the Cheap.
And then Jennifer and Shannon. Yeah.
Do you know when I first met her, I kept calling her Chick on the Cheap?
She gets that a lot. Yeah. She said she gets that a lot. So yeah.
I was like, my gay card is gone. I kept calling her Chick on the Cheap. I know that you have a fantastic YouTube channel. I personally have been following it for a while, but you also have a vlog, right? A blog where you do lifestyle stuff. Tell us about that one too.
Yeah, we don't really know what direction that one's going. People seem to like to watch Spence and I, that's my husband, also known as Mr. Cheap, if you've been following me, interact. Okay. So I kind of started the second channel to do other stuff that I like organization and just things that didn't really go on a DIY channel. So I don't know, that channel's kind of all over the place right now as far as content, but we're trying to be consistent on some stuff. So like weekly vlogs and.
Hey, it's a brand new year. It's a perfect time to start. Perfect time to start that.
Yeah.
Your projects are always incredible. And I really like a lot of stuff that you do. I know that there's several people that are kind of fangirling and freaking out right now, including myself. I mean, I feel like we're friends, and
we chat.
I still look at some of your projects and I'm just like, whoa, where did that come from? And I'm curious, like, what inspires you?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not the typical, so I really don't get on Pinterest or very much or look places. My thing is I go to a store, I'm not even kidding. Me going to Dollar Tree, I pick up an item and I will stare at it until I get an idea.
Okay.
It may not be the idea I go with, but I won't buy it unless I kind of know what I want to do with it.
Yep.
So I try to do that when I buy stuff. But I will say I do like looking at catalogs. I get a ton of catalogs. I don't even know how I get these catalogs, but they just come to my house. And so I get some ideas from there. But for the most part, it's just kind of, I don't know. It just, I stare at stuff a lot.
When you're walking though through the Dollar Tree, for example, and you say you're picking up stuff, are you going to the Crafter Square section and picking up something from there, or are you picking up a random tape measure from hardware and then going?
Yeah, not usually from there. I mean, I don't know. I've kind of stopped picking up the signs and stuff, and I try to go for more items. I don't know. Just my Crafter Square is not very good, so. I mean, I do have a lot of Dollar Trees around, but and they are pretty close. It sounds really stupid, actually. I have 4 Dollar Trees within 10 miles of my house, but the traffic is so bad, it takes me 45 minutes just to go 10 miles. So I just go to the one by my house, which unfortunately is not the best of Dollar Trees.
Yeah.
So
as you guys know, I am spoiled by
Dollar Trees. Yes, you are.
I have some pretty incredible Dollar Trees, and it's funny. I went to my old Dollar Tree near where I used to live before I bought the house, and it's so bad. I think if I would have bought on that side of town, I wouldn't be creating anything because there was just nothing really there.
It's so weird how they're just hit and miss. I wish there was a little more consistency, because it does make it, I will say it does make it hard when you get the comments that are like, I can't find that. And it's like, I'm so sorry, and you try to make other suggestions, but it is Sarah Jane has a great one, but I think she's by the warehouse, right? Jennifer, isn't she by the warehouse or something? Oh, she's muted.
Well, not anymore.
Okay.
Oh
yeah, true. That's right. She moved.
Right.
Yeah, she used to have. She'll have to go hunting in Florida, I guess.
Or you guys just make a road trip. Let's come to Atlanta. Let's go.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll get a bus and we'll just go busting into Dollar Tree.
There you go.
They would love it. Fun. They would absolutely love it.
So
I'm curious, where do you get your creativity from? Is your mom creative? Is it
okay, so funny story again. I'm adopted and I do not know my birth parents. But I was adopted into a very like creative, like my grandmother was an artist. My aunt like has the knack for interior design. Like there is my cousin, he does album covers for like major recording artists and things like that. So there's a lot of art in the family, but it's like art. What I can't do, I can't draw. Like I'm a stick figure kind of girl.
Yeah.
So, but there, there is creativity in there. And so I'm just more of I think I'm really the only person in my family that actually likes to build stuff and like make things like that.
Nice. That's cool. That's very cool. Before I forget, I want to talk about Surebonder since they are sponsoring tonight.
Yes.
And they are giving this away. This is, I have my script here. This is the cordless corded high temperature mini hot glue gun with detail tip. It's 20 watt. It's perfect for projects that require precision high glue temperatures and ease of movement. And I told you guys, I love this glue gun. It's got the detail tip. It's cordless. I would like for you to pick somebody at random from the virtual audience that will be the winner of this. You can literally close your eyes and just go like this to the screen, and you tell me who it is.
Just
and
close my eyes and point at the screen.
Don't do any of the rich people.
Okay. Okay.
That have like 1 billion subscribers.
Here.
Shannon knows she's rich.
It was on AV, I think. AV. Yeah.
All right, perfect. AV, email me your mailing address. You can send it to me via Instagram if you'd like as well. And Surebonder will send the glue gun directly to you as well as the glue sticks.
Yeah, you're gonna love it. It's my favorite glue gun. That's the one
this
I
is
always
really
grab.
my favorite one.
Yeah, Jennifer loves it too.
One of the rich people, by the way, guys. I live in New York, so we're all poor.
Yeah.
Not Shannon. Shannon was like, not me.
Not me. No. All our money goes back to crafting supplies.
Very cool.
Don't pick me. I love mine too.
Yeah, they're fantastic glue guns.
They're very good.
I do have an affiliate link too. So if you guys want a little bit of a discount, I can send it to you as well. So just let me know. So you were adopted into a creative family.
Yep.
And you think
well, I should say creative, and then all mathematicians, which I do not like math at all. Math is not my strong suit. When I like go to measure stuff, I'm one of those that's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 slashes after the quarter mark. Like that's me.
I was going to show you my ruler.
Like I take my pencil and mark
like
it
Sharpie
on the
marks
thing.
on my
I'm
ruler.
Just not. Yeah, logical's not me. I mean, not logical. I mean, you know what I mean.
No,
like that kind of mathematical, analytical thinking is not me. I'm just more of a creative.
I don't balance the checkbook. I don't do any of that. Now I lost my wallet, so I can't. But I will look on look on the app and go, okay, I can buy that.
Yeah.
That's just kind of how I handle it. Guys, if you have questions for Courtney or comments or anything, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask questions. I am going to continue to chat. If you want to just kind of wave your hand, that way I can call on you. That would be great too. Brenda, and then we've got AV next. So Brenda, go for it.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so Courtney, you're the put together person for the mystery challenge.
Yes.
Right. I love that. Well, I think you should do a spin on that.
Okay.
Okay. And since Jamie's in on it now, and we've got Shannon here and Jennifer, I think you guys ought to pick like one of the people that watch your channel.
Okay.
And let them send you a box of their stuff.
Okay.
And challenge you to do something.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why I came up with this. I've been purging in my craft room, and I knew I would be speaking with you, and I thought, man, I could send this stuff to her and say, what can you do?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like, we had talked about each time having a different twist, kind of adding a little more to the challenge each time we do it. Yeah. So that is a great idea.
I mean, I love that idea. I've seen some stuff that I've had, I'm not lying, back in the days when I first started like scrapbooking and stuff. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at this and I'm like, I don't want to throw it away, but I know I'm not going to use it, or I don't know what I would do with it, but it would be funny to see what you guys would do with it.
Brenda will be sending us like some Lisa Frank stickers and like
Scratch and
puffy liquid stickers and stuff like that, you know.
Maybe,
That's so
maybe.
That
I
would
mean,
be incredible.
seriously, I've got like little, I
See?
don't see, they're like little star wands, and I don't know some of this other stuff. I don't know.
Nice.
Funny.
It's funny that you say that too, Brenda, because Courtney, I was going to ask you, unofficially, but Dave, who's on tonight, Dave's Wreath and Things, had an idea, and he actually sent me a message today, and he was wanting to do a guys crafting collab, because there are a few of us out there that do it. And then what we thought we could do is take another spin on it. And after we do the guys collab, then we do a mystery box challenge where it's the guys sending boxes to the gals and the gals sending boxes to the guys.
Yes.
And creating like a, boy versus girl.
There you go.
Kind of a
and then awarding points. Because right now I think I'm up to like 9 million points. My subscribers are giving me the points that I asked for. Each time I'm like, I think I need 2 million points.
That would be amazing.
That
Ivy,
sounds
I think
fun.
we're
I love
up
it.
next for a question, and then Annie, I think.
I was going to ask, where are you based? I forgot.
I'm on the west side of Houston in Texas.
Yeah. I felt so jealous when you guys were talking about like proper dollar stores and Dollar Trees, because I'm in New York and our dollar trees are terrible. Terrible. Like watching people's DIY videos on YouTube was like, yeah, I made this, like, I redid my kitchen and my countertop and I just went to the Dollar Tree and it only cost me like 10 cents. And we don't have that. We don't even have like the things that are properly in the dollar store. So yeah.
Do you ever buy stuff in bulk? Like, do you ever just take it, like stuff that a lot of, like, there's a lot of stuff people continuously use, like the cutting boards, and like, do you ever think about just getting the stuff in bulk, or would you probably not use it all?
You know what? When this is over, I invite you to come to New York.
Okay, hey, I'm down.
Because
I'm in New York once a quarter.
It's terrible. And I know Crafties, because Crafties are in New York, and they feel my pain.
Is Jax the
bad? Like, you know what? The best things you might get from the Dollar Trees that we have here are like just like glass goods. So, like a vase and things like that. But like those gemstones that people like to make like mats and things out of.
Right.
No, we don't have to.
I like how she called a Dollar Tree vase a vase. Love it. Annie, I think you were next.
Hi, Courtney. How are you?
Hi, I'm good.
First, I wanted to address the Dollar Tree issue, because I'm now smuggling things to Puerto Rico because of Dollar Tree issues. Okay, literally.
Okay.
When you guys were talking about the mystery box challenge, I have a better challenge for you guys.
Okay.
Open your box live and then create something. That's what.
Oh wow, yeah, that would be. Yeah, that's hard, because that would be hard, because I try to tell, I'm like, okay, everybody try to get your boxes within 2 weeks. Yeah. And some of it, like this last time actually was a lot more challenging for several people, just because of the holidays and all the, the shipping issues and things. So some people, it was like, it was close. And so they were kind of in crunch time or whatever, but yeah, oh gosh, I'm a thinker. I don't know. I would not do well with that at all.
Or maybe like maybe there's like a head mystery person, right? Like a puppet master, and they choose one item and everyone gets the same thing.
There you go.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I like that. Yes,
I like that.
These are all good ideas. Yes.
And the other question I wanted to ask real quick.
Sure.
I know we're coming into a new year,
right?
And there's of course all these challenges that we have, but what's the one positive good thing that has come out of this, out of 2020, especially through your channel, because this has become a mode of communication more than just entertainment.
Right. So you're saying from YouTube in 2020, what
for you, what's been like a positive
honestly, it's probably some of the friendships I've made. I mean, Jennifer right there, like I would take a bullet for her. She is just the sweetest thing ever. And like I said, she just, I can call her up. She can call me. I can vent about, and half the time, really, we're not even talking about YouTube. We're just talking about daily life. What's going on? Hey, my oven's broken, whatever, And I mean, I've made some really good friends, and that to me is just, plus a lot of the subscribers, I feel like a lot of them that, that comment, or I see their names pop up, I feel like I'm starting to get to know them a little better. And so, when they talk about stuff or they'll mention something, they'll be like, oh yeah, I remember when you told me that. Cause I am one of those people, I still read every comment I get. It may take me a little while, but as soon as you see that heart go on there, if I don't have time to type something, I've read it. Like I still do that. It's challenging at times, but I do value input and what people think of my channel and what they get from it. So,
talking about input,
yeah.
when you get some of those input, we'll call them, from that maybe is not so nice,
right?
What is your advice on handling that?
Well, honestly, the best thing is, I will say, when I started, I took everything so personally. It was just like, oh my gosh, why are people so mean to me? But the best thing I think is honestly just to ignore it. I mean, it's what I tell my kids. I'm like, people who are not nice to you have something going on. There's something going on. And I try to keep that in mind. And I usually don't respond. If it's just mean, I will just block it and ignore it. Yeah. Occasionally I have responded just because some of the comments have been so far out there. And I'm like, let me just tell you actually what's going on. But, gosh, I don't know. Trying to ignore it is what I try to do.
Yeah.
Doesn't always happen, but that's kind of, that's kind of what I try to do.
Sometimes you gotta speak your mind a little.
And I will say this sometimes, and I'm a very what's the word I'm looking for? I will be the first person to defend somebody. Yeah. And so if Kristen K is another one that I talk to regularly. If she sends me, sometimes she'll say, man, this comment is just so mean, I don't understand why. I'll go over and I'll be like, hey, that was, and sometimes I've done that a couple of times because I just, it bothers me.
Sure.
My
favorite response to that question, I think, is Megan, a mutual friend of ours, and from Glue Guns and Roses. And she replies back with, does that mean you're not going to be a subscriber?
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
And leaves it at that.
Yeah.
And, I kind of think that's a good way to handle it.
Yeah, or hit the dislike button, she's very she's got a good game there.
Right. I'm not gonna argue with somebody, but I'm not gonna let them just be completely a monster either.
Sure.
AV, it looked like you were unmuted for a minute. Were you gonna chime in? Because I'm sure you've had some issues too, because you're kind of famous.
Thankfully, I don't get too many negative comments. But when I do, the only time I've gotten maybe comments is kind of more one-up comments, kind of well, I would have did like this, right? And it's like, okay, well, make your own video, but and then do it like that. Yeah. But what I do, I just say thanks for watching, because sometimes people will make comments and they believe they're anonymous, and it's like, I can click, I'm a human, so I can click on your page and see that you're a person as well. So they just think there is a distance between emotion between you as the creator and them as the commenter.
They're hiding behind the wall.
Yeah. And they think I don't see you, but it's I see you. So I just say thanks for watching, and then sometimes that person will kind of pedal back. Right. So they're like, oh yeah, well, it's not, I just thought hey, I didn't ask all of that. I just said thanks, So that kind of, I don't know, I think that kind of wakes them up to say hey, these are people here, and be a little bit kinder. But I don't know how I would feel if I was getting trashed comments,
Sure. And I've certainly had my share of them all over the spectrum, and sometimes it's just oh, sorry. And then sometimes it's better just to ignore it. I don't know what's going on with my camera. Now I'm all blurry. I'm going to try and do this real quick. See if that helps.
There
There
you
I
go.
am. Okay. So speaking of channel, oh, Sandy, go for it.
Thank you. I'm totally Jamie and Courtney. You guys are sweethearts.
Oh, thanks.
Like I can't believe it, but I'm so excited. Just out of curiosity, like, so did this start as a hobby and now it's turning more into a business, or like what does that
Yeah,
look like?
well, I've always crafted. Like I've been a crafter since
Nice.
I was little. And it did just kind of turn into like I had the first thing I think I did was I was trying to explain to my friend how to do like this little floral arrangement, funny enough, which I'm not really good at floral arrangements either, but and I was like, oh, I'll just shoot a video of it and I'll send it to you. And so I did that and sent it to her. And she's like, you explained it so well, you should just, and I was like, okay. So then I just threw it up there. But the funny thing is, so I did my YouTube channel for like a whole year until I actually officially told anyone because my husband is very business minded. Like he's all about the numbers, all about business plan, business ideas. And I just kind of wanted to do it for fun without getting any input from anybody.
Sure.
And I made that decision because I'd watched Sarah Jane. She did a video where she said, I, for the first year, didn't tell anybody. And I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to tell anybody.
Megan did that too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, if they don't tell anybody, I'm not going to tell anybody either. And then I still wasn't quite ready to tell him, but his best friend said, hey, Courtney has a YouTube channel. And then he called me. He's like, you have a YouTube channel? I was like, yeah, just a little hobby. But now I spend way more time on it. So it is a business for me. Because I do like to, I still like to craft. I still have the passion for crafting. And so, but I kind of, I work with Surebonder and I like to work with other companies. And at that point, you kind of have to get yourself into a business plan and make sure you're consistent and things like that. So,
yeah. And you've been great with helping me with that because I'm kind of, in that kind of side of the business now where it's like, okay, I'm doing this now. And it's much appreciated. So kind of leaning into that, what advice do you give for newbies that are just starting their channel? Maybe they're at 5,000 or less. Maybe they don't even have 5,000 yet, but they want to do this and create a channel for themselves.
Yeah. Honestly, I would say don't go out and buy all the stuff. I used my iPhone 6 Plus for like a year and a half or year, I guess.
Use my iPhone too.
Yeah, I didn't even have a tripod. Like I propped it up on books and a chair. Like I didn't even, it was pretty sketchy. And so I would say do that. And then the other thing is just kind of just, I don't know, don't lose yourself and try to copy somebody else. Like figure out what you want to do and then stick with that. And then, watch what other people do. And sure, if you see someone like doing thumbnails that only use red and they're doing great with that, well, maybe try using red in your thumbnails. It may work for you. It may not, but don't copy is, I guess, the biggest thing, you don't want to copy somebody, but,
I think of crafting a lot as like a recipe, you know, when I'm cooking, and I say this, I think almost every single show, but it's, if I'm cooking chicken Parmesan, I'm going to do it a little bit differently than you might do it. And
right.
I'm copying your recipe or you're copying my recipe. It just means that we're making chicken Parmesan, and there's certainly some ways that you can see sometimes it's like, wow, okay, that's exact. And then, there's other ways it's not. When you get into the part of your YouTube life where you're starting to be contacted by businesses, as you know, very early on, when your channel is growing, you'll get a lot of people that hit you up and they'll be like, hey, if you talk about this wine glass, I'll give you a free set. And they're not talking any money exchange. You're at that point.
Right.
And then you start to transition into the point where you're getting money.
Right.
What is your best kind of recommendation on that for folks?
Well, I would say in the beginning to make sure you vet the companies. Because the biggest thing, and I think the biggest mistake you can make is when you're smaller, if you start saying yes to these things because, you know, it's free and everybody's at that, you know, everyone feels that excitement at the beginning because people are, you know, but if you say, oh, buy these wine glasses, and then 2 months later, they find out they're full of lead, you're losing credibility because, hey, you put it up on your channel and you're like, you know, so I would say, I mean, I take a lot of time to make sure I vet the companies that reach out to me. You know, I go for reviews. I look at, you know, their website. I try to, especially if it's a company I've never heard of. And I would just say, yeah, I don't know. I think I just lost my train of thought.
No, that's good.
So vet the companies is what I think I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely don't short sell don't, you know, when the companies start coming to you and say, we will pay you, that's the hardest thing, because that's another excitement thing when they come to you and say, hey, we'll give you $100. Well, you may actually be worth $300. So, and it's hard because I even to this day sometimes shortchange myself. And Jennifer will call me, you know, if I call Jennifer and I'm like, I think I'm going to do this. She's like, no, you need to, you know, this is, your numbers show that this is what it is. And so that's why another good reason that when you make some close friends, you can bounce that kind of information off each other, and, you build that trust. So that's another way. You just don't want to shortchange yourself, because if you do that, then, you know, word will spread. Oh, well, hey, this creator will do it for, you know, $50, and this one, you know, so just value yourself. Make sure you don't shortchange yourself.
Nice.
Thank
great.
you so much. That is great advice. Thank you, Jamie and Courtney.
Sure.
Liz, I think you have a question.
I was just waiting. I'm letting everything go. First of all, I'm a big fan. So definitely, this is awesome. I love that Jimmy does this. He knows that I get all kinds of nervous when I start meeting all my favorite YouTubers on here,
but you're showing your face now.
I'm trying.
We're working on you, Liz.
I'm a work in progress. That's all there is to it. First of all, I'm in Texas too. I'm Fort Worth. So I've been to Houston many times, and I understand what you were talking about when it comes to traffic. It is probably the worst place in Texas when it comes to traffic. So I got you on that, girl. My question is kind of a little bit off of this subject we kind of been on, but I've got to know, what did you do with that mange tree? Did you keep it? Did you put it up? Is it framed?
Okay, this shelf, let me see, that shelf right there, that little speck,
Yeah.
right, it's sitting right there.
Oh, that was the best.
It's forever.
The best. I loved it. I laughed every single time. And we
doesn't
talked
know
about
my
it.
mange tree.
Yes.
This is my really pathetic. This was an item. Shannon sent me this in the mystery box. It was a troll pin, and I tried to turn it into a tree, and I called it my mange tree. And there it is. My biggest fail of last year, right here, that I display proudly on my shelf over there. So
awesome.
Awesome.
Love it.
So that's why you sent her the little pom-pom
little ball. Yes, that's exactly. Yep, that's exactly right. And so it was funny because a couple of people called me out because in one of my videos last year, I was doing like a pan and I snuck it in there with like some other trees, and people were like, "I saw the mange tree." I was like, "Oh." I was wondering if people would catch it, but they did. So I was like, "Hey, long live the mange tree."
You could have given her the mange tree.
I know. I know.
Put that in her box next or next month. Guys, do you have any questions as well? Please feel free. Jennifer, did you have one?
Okay, Courtney, I think you should explain your creative process. Like when you work the best, how long it normally takes you to do.
You know the answer to this.
And edit. I think everyone should hear that.
Okay, so I am a last minute kind of girl. I will sit and think on a project for a long time, but then it's like literally today's video that just went up today at 5. I did all the DIYs, I edited it, and I put it up today. Done. I have to go last. I don't know. I work really well under pressure. So and it drives Jennifer crazy because she'll be like, she's working on a project and I'm like, yeah, I'm done with my DIYs. And she's like, oh, you're going to start editing? I'm like, yeah. And so I'm done. I'm like, I'm done editing. She's like, yeah, no, not me. It's always like back and forth with us too. But yeah, I work really well under pressure. So
it's hard for me only from a talking standpoint.
Yeah.
As this is saying one thing, but what comes out of this is something totally different.
Yeah.
And it most of the time never makes sense. And like some of the newer folks or some of the folks that have just found my channel will be like, that's not what that means, or that's not what that is. And I'm like, I know, you're new.
Yeah.
Like they don't connect.
Yeah. Well, when I edit, I try to make it as fast as I can. I throw my clips in there. I know Jennifer does her thumbnail first. I do my thumbnail while my video's uploading to YouTube.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I'm like, I try to, and I throw my clips in there. And then what I do is I scan the clip really fast. And then I start talking. And then I go in and cut and fast forward based on how long I talked. And that's kind of how I do it. It seems to work. So
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
No, I think that's great. So other than Surebonder, because we know we love some Surebonder, do you have a favorite kind of collaboration that you've worked on, meaning with a sponsor?
Yeah, I'm really loving working with Cricut. This is my second year to work with Cricut. I know you are on board for Cricut.
I just got picked up by them.
I really do like Cricut. I've done some fun ones. I did Retikit, which I made over this furniture.
I know.
That was fun. That product is amazing. And that was actually when I reached out to them.
Yep.
And then I've let's see what else. I've done a couple like Wagner. I've done I don't even remember the rest, but I really like Cricut.
Yeah.
It's fun. Surebonder, of course. I love Surebonder. Who doesn't love Surebonder? But
yeah, I am learning that Cricut Maker right now, and I'm just like blown away.
Yeah.
Like it's so simple that I'm like, is that really it? You know. Yeah. So that's been a fun process for me. You said there were companies that you reached out to yourself.
Yeah.
And so when you're doing that, it's obviously somebody that you like, that you want to work with. And when you do that type of outreach, do you just scrap the media kit and the rates and everything and just say, I want to work with you, I really like your project? Or do
I reach out to them, and then I just say I would be interested. I usually give a reason, like an idea of what I had in mind with the product. And then I leave it up to them. I say, I would be happy to send you a media kit, if you're interested. And then most of them say, yeah, send me a media kit. And then they read it and they say, okay, how much for a whatever? And then I kind of get more details. I'm like, well, what do you want? Do you want an Instagram package with it? Do you want depending on how much work I'm gonna have to put in for it. And then we just negotiate the price and do the contract. Nice. So, yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
Who else has a question for Courtney? We've got some shy folks tonight. Annie, I can't believe you don't have a question.
Yeah.
Susie?
Well, I mean, I'll ask something. I mean, when did it really, like, everything is like a slow boil?
Oh my gosh.
When did it just like, oh my gosh, when did you look at your channel and say, what the heck just happened here?
Yeah. Honestly, my channel started taking off right after I went to Creativation with Jennifer and Shannon. I don't know. We did that live together. And so I know that kind of gave me a boost because I got, their channel, people were tuning in for them or whatever. And so they kind of got exposed to me that way. And so, that's when I saw like really fast growth from like, I think I was at like 35,000 then. And I went really quickly to like 50, and then 50, I kind of lingered around, and then like 60 to 70 was fast, 70, 80 was slow. And now 80 is going, I guess, pretty fast. So it kind of goes, I know when you hit this kind of area, it takes a while because you see 100 in your sight line and it's like, I just put the play button, but it seems like I think it just seems like it takes forever. I don't know. Yeah. So I usually don't I kind of try not to look at the numbers because I don't want to get discouraged, because sometimes I'll put out a video and I'm like, oh, this is a good one, this is a great one, and then I'm like, oh, nobody likes it, kind of deal. So it's like, I try not to. That's what my husband, he looks at the numbers and he kind of tells me, hey, maybe change your time that you post this or do that. So yeah.
I saw Susie's hand up and I see Sandy's up. Okay. So Susie, go ahead and go first.
Oh, hi. How are you? I'm in Texas too.
Yay.
A lot of Texas folks
today.
Yeah.
Antonio.
Yeah.
Let me see. I just started my channel and all this is like so neat and everything. And I'm a retired teacher. And what is like your best time of day that you like to work? Because you do this full time now, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what time of day do you get up in the morning? Like I like to get up in the morning. What is your best time?
Usually I will say the morning. I'm usually doing like administrative type stuff where I'll like answer comments, I'll answer DMs, I'll check on Instagram, make a post on that. As far as actually crafting, I usually do it in the afternoon, which I don't know why, because I'm like, oh, natural light. But I have this really ginormous oak tree outside my window and it shades. So I really don't get any natural light. So now I've started crafting at night. And then depending on if I craft at night, then the next morning I get up and edit it. If it's not like a 1-day job, if I'm not like in a hyper, like get it done all in one day. So usually it's nighttime and then the next morning I edit it. And then my best post time is kind of in the evening. So most of my videos are going up, between 5 and 6.
One of my little favorite things that you just did was the mystery box, and it was the snowflake.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my gosh, I watched that over and over. It's darling. So I was like, I thought you were gonna totally do something with the snowflake, just like it was, and put like whatever. Yeah. But that was very
cute. Thank you.
I love that.
I have it right here.
Super cute. Oh.
There it is. That's my tree.
It's very cute.
I'm like, where is she going with that? I'm like,
a lot of people will comment before they finish watching the video. They're like, I didn't understand what you were doing. I was like, I feel like a lot of people probably are like, Courtney, what train are you taking?
The comments like going, like ready as I'm watching. So
yeah.
That was super, super good. Loved it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice. Thank you. Sandy, what was your question?
Let's see her. Oh, there she is.
Sandy, you're muted. Did you have a question, or I thought I saw you wave your hand? There you are.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I'm off mute now, right? Yeah.
You are.
I had a couple of questions, two, if I could ask.
Sure.
My first one is focus. Do you have any advice? Like, I just love all crafts, like the Cricut and gluing and yarn, and like, do you find you run into that, or are you just
that's kind of I guess a constant struggle, because I kind of have a love-hate with Dollar Tree. I will say Dollar Tree DIYs, if you're trying to grow fast, is a way to grow fast doing Dollar Tree DIYs. But those people also tend to really just want Dollar Tree DIYs, which is fine. Yeah. So if you just do Dollar Tree, and then you throw in a thrift flip, it kind of doesn't do that well, because, So you kind of have to find the balance, I think, from the beginning, and just kind of work that stuff in slowly so that they know, okay, she's not just this, she's going to do, thrift flips or upcycles or things like that. So
that's great. That's exactly what I was looking for. And then my second question, if I could ask, is how do you feel about hashtag shorts, like the short videos? I'm doing a series on the Cricut, and I'm trying to get them done like in 58 seconds, like how to upload a picture, how to do
so I don't have the actual shorts button yet. I wasn't one of the, I'm not one of the people that has it. I wanted to try it, so I put up a short on my vlog channel.
Okay, nice.
And it did pretty well. I mean, I guess it's doing okay. But I haven't put one up on the Creative on the Cheap yet. I know Shannon was talking about doing some shorts pretty soon. I think people like sometimes those just real quick little, because when I do it on Instagram, like lots of people just like a super quick little, if it's for the most part self-explanatory. You're not going to want to go on there and try to cram something in there that's not, very self-explanatory.
Good. YouTube is pushing them right now.
Yeah, they are. They
Yeah,
are. So
thank you.
I say give it a go. Like I want to keep doing it, but I'm like, okay, I need to find a small project that I can put on there and do real quick. So I'm gonna put one up there at some point. It might probably be spring or Easter DIY before I get
Yay. I can hardly wait. That's
so-
awesome. Yeah, they're really popular, and
yeah, they're definitely
but you got to give quality. You're
Yes.
right. You can't just 58 seconds is a very short time to give quality.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sure.
That means I probably won't be doing it because some of mine are a little questionable. The Crafty Catholic, I saw that you had your hand up.
Hi. So my name's April and I am brand new to YouTube.
Okay.
I have 15 subscribers, not 1,500, 15,
Hey,
but I'm happy to have them. So I haven't bought any new like camera equipment or anything like that, but I did buy some editing software.
Okay.
And I'm getting hung up. Like I can craft all day, but then the editing takes me a long time. So like, do you have a program that you prefer over others? What would you suggest?
When I first started, I actually just used I don't even remember what it was called, a free app on my phone because I shot everything on my phone.
Yeah.
Then I went ahead and did iMovie. I don't know if you're on iOS or not. I did iMovie, and then I did iMovie up until sometime last year, and then I jumped to Final Cut Pro. It's really complicated. Like I have not, it hasn't really changed my iMovie editing game, and my Final Cut is pretty much the same thing. But I am making a point now to try to at least every other night or every night watch some sort of Final Cut, because editing was one of my goals this year, is just to try to amp it up a little bit. But I would say basic and simple is the best way to start. Don't try to do transitions and too much stuff. Just focus on the craft, because that's what people they want to see. Okay, what can this girl do? What can she make? And the extra stickers popping up and the sound effects, they don't need all that to see kind of like what you're going to do. So I would say in the beginning, just kind of
I'm using my webcam on my laptop because these old eyes can't see well enough on my phone. So I think I'm using Filmora. It was probably the first one that popped up when I Googled, editing software.
Did Shannon say she used that one? Is that the one Shannon said she used, Filmora?
One
of the YouTubers said they used it. I don't remember who it was. I can't think who it was.
I'm kind of like you. I use iMovie.
Yeah.
And I do everything on my phone, and my eyes are horrible, which is why I'm getting like an iPad to do future videos with. I just like being able to like lay on the couch and do it or whatever. We've got time for like one, maybe two more questions. I saw Annie, I think your hand was up.
No.
And then Dave, did you just raise your hand, or were you?
Not a question, just a comment. I use Movavi, and it's super, super simple. Mind you, I have a child that's in a magnet program for film production. Does he help me?
No.
Thank you. But Movavi is it's cheap and it's really easy to use. They even include music and everything's in there. It's real easy to use.
Nice. Okay.
Very cool. Very cool. Dave, did you have a question?
Yes, I did.
Go for it.
So I'm fairly new. I've been doing this about 3 months now. I'm having the time of my life. And then at times I'm having, the most stressful time of my life as well. But I guess what I wanted to get your opinion on is I've watched 1,000 videos on how to become a new YouTube sensation.
Right.
And they always say, post, be consistent, yada, yada, yada. So there's people who are saying post 1,000 videos a week. There's people saying post 1 video a week. What would you say is too many videos in a week? Like, is that 1 video is good, or is like 2 videos and then just stop it there?
I would say, you're probably asking the wrong person. I really think 2 is like the perfect number to not do more than that.
Yeah.
I know Shannon did 3 for, well, Shannon started off doing like 5 and then she cut down to 3 and now she's down to 2. So again, I think 2 is probably the magic number. The big thing is, I think, like if you post on a Friday, if you say I'm going to do 1 a week, Friday, and then you go and post on Saturday, even though it's 1 day, it's like something about that 7-day mark. I don't know. Sometimes it kind of messes you up as far as getting into the algorithm and knocking you out and things. So I would just say 1 to 2. My goal was to do 2 this year. I'm still on 1 at the moment, but I think 2 is a very good number.
And like the length of videos as well. Should that be between like that 10-minute and 20-minute mark, or?
Yeah, I would say yes. My Christmas videos this year, most of them were between 20 and 30 minutes.
Okay.
And they did well. Honestly, I really don't know what the magic thing is. I know Jennifer does well. She tries to hit around the 20 mark, right, Jennifer? Don't you usually try to stay around 20 or less? 20 minutes, I think she does.
For an average, because I like to go fast on my projects, I would rather it to be under 20. Most of the time. I like that 12 to 16. And then I will normally do a compilation that is long.
Yeah.
Once in a while, that's my longer one, which YouTube does really like. But what's what I'm looking for? People won't stick around.
Yeah, your watch time.
Yeah,
so
your viewers isn't as long, or the staying power doesn't seem to be.
Yes. So where I have really good through like that mid-range where I can keep it really consistent all the way through on my normal videos, I'm fine. But the moment I go to one that my compilations, you can see my spikes are like this, like they're watching, oh, they stopped, oh, they came back. And it's just like this the whole time on retention. That's the word I couldn't think of.
Yeah.
I think we had one question. Rochelle, I saw that you had your hand up. Did you have a question? She's hiding. But...
No, it kind of already got answered.
Okay, cool. Very cool. AB, I'll let you do yours then.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you write blog posts for every YouTube video that you post.
Do I do blogs? I don't have a blog.
Okay.
I have a vlog channel, but yeah, no, I don't do. I say I don't do. I did for I don't know, a year and a half ago, I guess. I tried to do that. I did one blog post and I'm like, delete. I couldn't. I mean, I was like, this is trying to embed the video and then basically say in words what I said in the video. I was just like, I can't. So it's not my game. But I know Yami does things like that and she does really well at it. So some people are just, I'm just not a blogger, I don't think.
Yeah, I have enough problem talking, let alone putting it into words on paper. Well, guys, we are at our time. I'm keeping these at an hour because we want to be respectful of everybody's time, and I'm trying something new this time. But I am starting something brand new this year. Before we go, we are going to do a virtual selfie with Courtney.
All right.
The way we're going to do that is switch your view into speaker view, and you will see Courtney main on the screen.
Oh, no.
And so at the count of 3, what we'll do, Courtney, to make sure that you are front and center on the camera, I want you to just say hello. And then, guys, if you take your phone out and you turn your back like this to your screen, then you can get a selfie with Courtney.
How do I have to put mine on speaker, whatever you said?
Nope, you'll be fine.
Okay,
so
great.
At the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
Hey.
All right, looks like everybody did it. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming tonight. I appreciate it. Courtney, it was a pleasure. And this will be posted on YouTube within a couple days.
Yay, thanks, guys.
Say hello to Mr.
Thanks so
T.
much.
Thank you. Yes, I will say hi to Mr. T for you.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.